If you have seen headlines like this and wonder why Circles.Life is suing M1, watch out because it has nothing to do with the Simba deal. So, on 13 October, Keppel, the current parent company of M1, announced that Circles.Life has officially sued M1 in the High Court. Later, I'll explain why they sue M1. But before that, you need to know the relationship between Circles.Life and M1. You see, in Singapore, only 4 companies can build the infrastructure to provide telecommunication services. They are Singtel, StarHub, M1, and Simba. For companies like Circles.Life, they do not have their own infrastructure. Instead, they kind of buy the voice, message, and data services from one of the 4 telecoms and then resell them to consumers with their own brand. This is why Circles.Life is a mobile virtual network operator, MVNO, and not a telecom. This means that when the telecom that Circles.Life uses from is down, Circles.Life will be down as well. So, Circles.Life used M1's network. Launched in 2016, Circles.Life kind of disrupted the industry because they provide very cheap data. Back then, data was, not that cheap. Obviously, the cost price of the services are not revealed. But as you can see, with Circles.Life depending so much on M1, they are in a rather dangerous position, which is why in 2020, a new policy took effect. In 14 January 2020, the framework for the Wholesale of Mobile Services took effect. It's actually a rather short framework and I can read everything out in this video, but I know you are here for a summarized and simple version. So let me look at the framework. Basically, the telecom cannot suka-suka tell MVNOs how to price their services. They cannot suka-suka reduce the speed of MVNOs. They cannot suka-suka just terminate the next day. So basically, cannot suka-suka lah. So it kind of protects MVNOs to some extent. And yes, this lawsuit is all about this. If you are looking to advertise your business in this channel, we can help you. There are guaranteed views and many big brands have trusted us. Just click on the link in the description. I know some of you might think that Circles.Life is suing M1 because M1 is going to be bought by Simba. But no lah. Anyone who's familiar with the justice system will know that is impossible because launching a lawsuit will take months. So if Circles.Life intends to sue M1 for that, we may only read about it next year. Instead, it's for something else. You see, Circles.Life and M1 signed a contract in 2019, likely about the key mobile services that M1 is providing to Circles.Life. Liberty Wireless, which is Circles.Life's parent company, alleged that M1 had wrongfully refused to enter into good faith negotiations to amend or vary the 2019 contract to the extent reasonably necessary or appropriate to address the implications of the framework for the Wholesale of Mobile Services issued by the Infocom Media Development Authority in January 2020. They are also seeking a declaration that, I know you're confused now. So I'm going to simplify everything out. If you want the cheap version, go raise 3 stars on CNA, this is the blue cat. Basically, you see, they signed the contract in 2019. Then the framework started in January 2020, right? So because the framework started in 2020, Circles.Life want to make amendments to the contract to kind of, base it on the framework or to kind of connect the framework in or whatever. Basically, renegotiate the contract and this time to look at it again with the framework in mind. Also, Circles.Life said the contract might contain an error and or a mistake and will seek to rectify the contract if needed. It's unknown what the error or mistake is. Apparently, M1 did not want to negotiate. So basically, what Circles.Life wants is simple. They want the court to ask M1 to negotiate. Keppel said they do not find the allegations meritorious, which in Blue Cat words mean no lah, we want lah. What's next is unknown, but Keppel said this will not affect the sale of M1 to Simba, while Circles.Life said that this does not affect their day-to-day operations. Now, this kind of business dispute that eventually led to court action is actually very common. The reason why it's in the news is because it's between 2 well-known brands and also whether this could set any precedent for anything. In the meantime, if you have forgotten about the M1 deal with Simba, watch this. Also, follow me on Instagram if you have not done so, as we publish exclusive short videos there. Link in description. And if you want to advertise with us, even as a standalone video, do contact us. Thank you for spending almost 4 minutes with me. I really appreciate it and hope you learned something.